announced a tax credit of $5,000 over 5 years for college graduates, which at this point is kind of like getting a coupon for 25 cents off a lobster dinner with any purchase of $45,000.
I'm Lincoln Fryman.
And I'm Sam Schiltz in for Liz Brannon. Let's get right down to it. Late summer flooding devastated rural Wisconsin areas for the third consecutive year in a row, to which Hillary Clinton replied, good.
Governor Scottrick Walker has come under fire for spending over $800,000 on flights within the state, which I gotta say is not that big of a deal. I mean, what is he supposed to do? Drive?
The governor announced a tax credit of $5,000 over 5 years for college graduates, which at this point is kind of like getting a coupon for 25 cents off a lobster dinner with any purchase of $45,000.
Now, Walker has tried almost everything to keep millennials in Wisconsin, but he's saving his best option for last, letting a Democrat win the governor's race.
State Superintendent and real-life Jack Skellington, Tony Evers beat out 7 other candidates for the Democratic nomination. Now, the biggest challenge for Evers, other than a calcium deficiency or a stiff wind, or not inspiring preteens to stab their friend for his appeasement, is fundraising. Before the primary, he raised just over $400,000 on the campaign trail, unlike Madison Mayor Paul Soglin, who raised $40 in a high five, but no one was around to give him one.
Billionaire business moguls Charles and David Koch are expected to spend $1.8 million on the governor's race before they get back to their normal routine of sacrificing a union worker to the ghost of Ronald Reagan. Speaking of the Kochs, this broadcast is sponsored by semi-trucks.
Semi-trucks! We could do the speed limit, we just don't want to.
Meanwhile, not Kelderoy's here, we'll try to figure out a signature policy stance of whether or not to have bangs. Now, if the governor's race is too close to call, instead of a recount, each candidate will just put out a bowl of kibble and see who the state goes to first. GOP candidate for U.S. Senate, Leah Vukmir, drew criticism for an ad where she solemnly stared into a camera while making vague threats with a handgun on the table right next to her. Critics of this ad have said it's a direct rip-off of one of Ted Nugent's wet dreams.
A fun fact about Ted Nugent, if you play the song Cat Scratch Fever backwards, it still sounds like shit.
Meanwhile, Senator Tammy Baldwin is trying to quell rumors that she's somehow always just come from a rock concert 3 days ago where she lost her voice.
Senator Baldwin touted her Buy American legislation in recent ads, trying to convince more companies to buy U.S.-made steel. Not to be confused with former Senator Al Franken's Buy American legislation, trying to convince more wives to be cool with a 3-way. Shut the fuck up.